Hey everybody, welcome back to the Retro Gamer Chronicles. I had to think about it again for a
No,
second. This,
I was looking at you like, yeah,
yeah,
he's thinking.
he's thinking about it. This is Eric for Game Mode Retro.
This is David, the lame dad.
Welcome back. We're super excited to be here. And this is episode number 6 of the Retro Gamer Chronicles. And we're talking about the Sarah Connor Chronicles, episode number 9, which is What He Beheld. This is the final episode of season 1 we're going to talk about today. So we're going to do what we normally do. We'll talk about the episode. We'll go through and we'll share some thoughts around it and some of the cheese factor and some funny moments that we may see there. And then at the end of the episode, we'll talk about our overall thoughts around season 1, what we thought, we liked, we didn't like. And then David and I are going to each give a grade. We don't know at this point what we graded it. I have it in my head here, and we'll kind of share that, and we'll talk about season 2 coming soon and what we're in store for there. So, what do you think, Dave? Ready to get going?
It's very exciting that we're at this point. It's the season finale for season 1 and for the show.
Yeah, dude, it's all happening at one time. I feel like I just messaged you about this, but it's been like months ago now. So awesome stuff. We've been making it work. We're super excited to be here, and let's get down to business. So this episode opens with a flash forward to the future, where during midday, playing Kyle Reese and Derek Reese witnessed the launch of U.S. nuclear missiles while playing ball in their yard on Judgment Day, Thursday, April 21st, 2011. So basically opens up with these two young kids. You don't know who they are right away. And then you start realizing that it's Derek, who's the older brother to Kyle, and they're playing baseball in this field. And in 2011, it's creepy because, like, obviously 2011 wasn't that long ago. But it's like, it just, the way this time travel and the future stuff worked, I thought was brilliant to add that in there.
Yes, I honestly was not expecting for this to show up. Not this scene with the two brothers, but I really wasn't expecting to see a Judgment Day scene. I should have known better. It's Terminator. There's always a Judgment Day scene with bombs and explosions,
Mm.
but I thought this was such a heavy, just awesome Judgment Day that it was Derek and Kyle Reese. I want to say Kyle Reese first because I've always viewed him as the older brother, or I thought. But it's the Reese boys and it's Judgment Day. This was an awesome scene.
And this is where I feel like I thought Brian Austin Green, who plays Derek Reese, I thought this episode was going to be the one. So I'll get your thoughts at the end. But I feel this is a very heavy and deep episode for Derek Reese, as for his character. I thought he did an excellent job with this, and I think it really makes you appreciate him more. So I'll take your thoughts at the end of this, but I did like the way that opened up. I thought it was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So a front man for the mysterious Sarkisian holding the Turk 2 follows up on Sarah Connor's call about purchasing the Turk and tracks her to the burial lair of Carlos. So basically it's like the was it the oh, that's right. He goes to basically where Carlos's nephew is. So then he kills several members of Carlos's gang to get information about Sarah Connor. So Casera, basically this episode is they're trying to track down the Turk 2 still, and they're trying to figure out where it is. So she starts calling around to people that she thinks has it. So now this guy Sarkisian is researching her, and he goes to Carlos's nephew's house and basically kills everybody. It's pretty crazy. The scene's pretty insane. A lot of cheese because I feel like, okay, they're trying to make these guys look badass. I get that, but I think there was 3 guys plus Carlos, sitting on. I'm sorry, Carlos is the nephew of what's his name there, sitting on the couch. They're all dead in like 30 seconds. They're all dead. Like they all go to get their guns, and the guy is moving slowly, gets the sword. I don't know. I just felt it was kind of cheesy.
They've always played the Carlos in the segment up as like these are some like bad right? Like cholos and gangbangers, all these tattoos. And it was good for nothing.
They all get killed in like 30 seconds. And then we do see his Carlos's girlfriend. She has a little bit of a small role in this episode. She doesn't say a word again, but she has a little role in this episode with like Cameron, and they have a cool little back and forth, like their stairs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She proved to be the most gangster out of all of
Yeah, she survived everybody.
them. She's the real badass.
Yeah, 100%. So there we go again. So at this point, we find out that so this guy's trying to now find out where Sarah is and track her down and what's her whole story. So while staking out an internet cafe, I love the internet cafe, that Cameron and Sarah Connor enter to meet with the current holder of the Turk 2, Derek positively identifies his own self at age 16 and his brother Kyle at age 8. Sarah and Cameron are directed by the anonymous contact to bring $500,000 for the Turk 2 to the ATM in a food court. While Derek and Sarah attempt to make the exchange, Derek reveals that a food court was the first stop his resistance cellmate after arriving in 2007, and that his chosen location was a concentration camp in his time. I think he says he threw up or something. When he went back to the future, back to the past, he was eating all this junk food in the mall because they were so happy to be like back in civilization. So he's telling Sarah this whole story. So the drop is actually set up as a setup to allow the frontman for the Turk 2's holder to get into the Connors' house while they're away and lay in wait for them. The frontman attempts to blackmail Sarah for $2 million in order to not reveal her presence to the FBI, and is able to escape Sarah's immediate wrath by having the thugs watching John on a field trip. So this entire time, I want no spoilers, but we're led to believe that this man is Sarkissian. This is the Sarkissian guy. He's like hunting them and all this good stuff and making sure that, keeping an eye on them so, they don't get what they're looking for.
Right. Yeah.
So when they're on this field trip, Cameron identifies one of the thugs. They're stalking them. So she terminates him in the museum parking lot and stuffs him in his car trunk. And then right after this, Morris asks Cameron to the prom. So basically, like, Morris comes up, which is John's friend. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I just stuffed a dead man's body in the trunk. So she's being really honest with him, but he thinks she's kidding. And he asks her to go to the prom. And then John's like, just say yes.
Yeah. I think Cameron makes a comment later, maybe, where she's like, we're going to prom. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to clue and remember, honestly remember that part. But what really got my attention again, or cued it, was again when she stuffed the body into the trunk. Mm-hmm. And Morris is taking it as her joking, but no, she's being honest. She just stuffed the guy in the trunk.
Yeah, she did. That was pretty good. Like, did she know that he wouldn't believe her? So she said it anyway. Like, that was pretty funny. So pursuing the Turk 2 back to the Wi-Fi cafe after Carlos's female companion, which is that girl that the front of the house always, gives them the information as a revenge for the killings in the house. The group confronts and kills the frontmen, but are unable to locate the Turk 2. So this is basically, these notes are kind of but this is basically where they're in the cafe. They go in the back, they find Sarkissian, and basically, he locks himself into a room, and then what's her name? Cameron breaks through like the wall. So like she's like, I can get to the door, the wall will be faster. So she starts breaking through the wall, that was pretty funny. A pretty funny scene, I felt like. And that's when you were saying before too. So when Derek, they have this guy Sarkissian has John at gunpoint. Derek's in the alley with Sarah, and he shoots the guy in the head that's holding John, and he kills him right there. And then they get John out of there, and they're still not able to locate the Turk 2. This episode turns out to be John's birthday. So for John's birthday, Derek takes him to a park to have ice cream. As they're sitting there having ice cream, they're watching these two kids, which we know are Derek. Oh, actually, they're the even younger versions that we saw earlier in the episode, but it's Derek and Kyle. And he tells John that that's him and his father, Kyle. And at that point, John realizes that Derek knew that he's his uncle and that Kyle was his father.
Yeah, and it kind of made me think about, okay, what else does Derek know that he's not telling Sarah? Because obviously there's some things I'm sure that he knows that he doesn't want to just throw up to Sarah or John. He's still got his kind of own secrets, I guess. And then there's the whole Cameron relationship with him that they've got some history.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I
yeah.
want to back up here real quick because, like you said, the notes are man. But the scene with the little girl,
Mm-hmm.
that's where we've already went over that, right?
Well, I didn't mention the part about the girl, but so basically
Okay.
what happens is
Okay.
when they're in that back room, John opens the door and sees this girl sitting there doing homework, and he's like, "Who is this?" So
Right.
we think that it's Sarkissian's daughter, but it's actually the daughter of the guy that manages the internet cafe. Anyway, Sarkissian grabs John, and then Derek grabs the girl because they think that that's her father. Bring her out into the alley. Now she's crying, and it's like David and we talked about it earlier off camera, but it kind of hit us hard. Is that where you're going with this? Because like
Yeah, both being fathers and having daughters, um, but it also really helped. I feel like it really helped develop Derek's character.
yeah,
And up until this point, I was not a fan of Derek. I really didn't like the guy, but the way he handles the situation, uh, I was like, man, this guy's gonna be okay. He'll be all right.
yeah. He was like reassuring her. He's like, "Are you okay?" And like he covers her eyes, and right when he shoots the guy, he covers her eyes like right. It was really well done acting. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, you're right. It kind of shows more of the softer side. But that one was a little hard to watch to a point. But that was good writing again. So now the majority of the remaining of this episode now is going to feature focus around Cromartie and Agent Ellison. So James Ellison identifies Cromartie as the primary suspect in the deaths of the doctor that manufactured the skin replacement and the plastic surgeon that refined his appearance after Charlie Dixon comments on his current alias as Agent Kester. So basically, Ellison goes to Charlie's house. He feels like he knows Sarah's alive and he wants to know more information. At this point, he's like, "I already told you and the other guy that I haven't seen her." He's like, "What other guy?" He's like, "Agent Kester." So now, Ellison's looking for who's this Agent Kester. Basically, goes into the files of the FBI and he brings up their photo, and it's a picture of Cromartie, a picture of George Laszlo, the actor. So now he's starting to realize in his head, because he knows about Terminators going on, that he kills this guy and he's a Terminator. And he tries basically telling his colleague, I forget her name, she's in the show too a good amount of times.
Yeah,
Greta Simpson, I think it's Greta.
that's right. Yeah,
Yep, Greta's the other agent. So he tells her that like maybe he's not a man, and she's like, "What are you talking about, James? Like, what do you mean he's not a man?" So kind of hinting at he could be something else. And this is where it gets a little crazy towards the end. And one of my favorite things I wanted to call out was like, as soon as they go to raid this guy's apartment, Johnny Cash starts playing when the man comes around. And I love
yeah.
that song. And I thought it actually worked so perfectly. So basically, all the agents go to the house and they go to confront him. And you and I, David, we both know that it's not going to end well.
No, it's not going to end well. And you're right. I didn't pick up on the Johnny Cash song initially when I watched it, but you're right. Yeah, when the man comes around, and it's such a well done scene of violence and killing.
Yep. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, so they're on like the top floor of this like outside apartment, and you start seeing like I love the shot was awesome. The cameras in the pool underneath the water, and you start seeing like the FBI agents fall in, and then you're like, oh, did he get pushed in or did he get shot? And all of a sudden you start seeing the blood come from his body into the pool. That was really well done. Really well done.
I felt like there were like FBI agents or SWAT agents or whatever just being thrown
Dude,
everywhere.
yeah. It was crazy. And then we do see, unfortunately, Greta actually is one of the ones that gets killed, his partner there. So they start kind of showing, basically everything going on. So Cromartie comes down and they start zooming out, and you see Cromartie sees Ellison. He's got the gun kind of pointing at him, and he looks at Ellison and realizes he's not a threat, and he kind of leaves him and walks out. And you can see Cromartie's got bullet holes all over his face and everything else there. As he's walking out, Charlie pulled up in the ambulance because obviously he's the EMT around the area, and he sees Cromartie and he knows enough to get the hell out. Like, don't let him see you. And he runs back around, and then he goes to help Ellison and all the folks that are looks like most of you are all dead, unfortunately. But
Very, very well done. I think it was very well done. That writing, having Charlie show up. It's the season finale.
mhm,
Charlie shows up. I love Charlie. I'm a huge Dean Winters fan,
he's great.
and yeah, and having him show up again was awesome. Terrible scene for all the FBI people, unfortunately, but
Yeah, I feel like, but again, it's like, they didn't know what they were walking into at all. And, they had, we just knew that they were all going to not come out of it. But of course, I'm
yeah,
happy Ellison survives. But yeah, that was intense. But I'm telling you, you should go back and watch that again and like listen to the Johnny Cash song. It's just it was great. It feels like it fits so perfectly. Um, so really the end of this episode, this is where it gets kind of crazy again. It's a good cliffhanger because obviously it's the end of the season, so they have to do something to get you to watch and tune in, next season. So as Cameron leaves the house to get John a birthday cake, she sees somebody walking away from the car, and we get like an eerie feeling as like the viewer that this guy's up to no good. And she starts the engine. The guy that we see is the real Sarkisian. He's the owner of the Wi-Fi business and the mastermind behind all of this, the whole thing with the Turks. This is the real guy they're looking for. As Cameron starts the engine of the car, it explodes with her in it, and that's the end of the episode.
total bummer, man.
She's
Like,
gone.
yeah, right. But just total bummer. Like I was so hyped up after episode 7 and 8, and 9. Was such a great episode. I thought. Um, and like we talked about off camera earlier, like even though I have season 2 like in my hand, it
Mhm.
was still a bummer. It was like, oh, like this is a downer, that Cameron potentially blew up.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, I don't want to spoil anything. I know what happens, but it was. I remember watching it for the first time too when I first saw it. I was like, "Oh man, like really? That's it." But it was well done. Like the guy you kind of sees, like it just you could know that he was up to no good. And I had a feeling, even when again I haven't seen it in so long, but when I saw her turn the key, I'm like, okay, that's right. She blows up in the car. Uh, heavy episode, lots of good stuff. I thought that overall, what he beheld was a good episode. It was a good cliffhanger to start the new season 2. So overall, I think we're both kind of in agreement with some good writing there and some good different some lore added in. But what were as we bring down to the end of this episode of RGC? What are some of your overall thoughts of season 1?
I am pleasantly surprised at how much I am enjoying it, and how good of a series it is so far. Initially, when you reached out, I was like, yeah, I'll get into it, but this is going to suck. This is going to be crap. It's going to
Like,
be
why do you
cheese
want to watch
writing.
this stupid show?
Oh, I was like, man, this is going to be terrible. Um, and I've really enjoyed it.
Good.
There was an episode. There's still some things I have questions about, but I feel like there was one episode where they were bringing Derek in, they were bringing Charlie back in, they were bringing in this guy Vic. And it's like they were flooding us with all these characters,
Right.
and it just felt like very overwhelming, like a soap opera. But I think that it's pretty well done. I know this is your second time watching it through now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you still think you enjoy it as much as you did the first time, or?
I think I enjoy it more now because I'm watching it with someone that hasn't watched it before. And I think what I'm getting a kick out of is like the way that you're getting a kick out of things, the way you're into it. And like I don't know, I think it's again, I haven't watched it in a number of years. I think I probably if this came out in what 11 or no 07. I forget
Oh,
when it came out. 07?
I think it was 06 and 07. Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't watched it probably since like 2010. I know I watched it after it aired, but I haven't watched it in so long, and it's just like I'm forgetting things and rewatching it. Like it's great, yeah. I mean, I think I like it better this time around, and I appreciate it more just because like we're huge Terminator fans, and I was excited to bring you into it. And now knowing your reaction to it, I think you're gonna love season 2. But you obviously got to stick with me. It's a little out there at times, but I think you're gonna end up you're going to be just like you're going to be so pissed at the end of it. You're going to want more. That's why I will I definitely think you're going to feel the same way I did. So So yeah, so overall thoughts. I think the season I thought was really well done. I think they had a lot to live up to because it's Terminator, and there's a lot of good adaptations out there, and some not so great. And they had to kind of do their own thing. And I thought the writing was really well done. Definitely some cheese, as we talked about, but I think it worked for being on TV. They did good with a lower budget. It didn't really feel cheesy in the. It didn't feel cheesy in the sense that there really wasn't any terrible bad acting. It just was like there's certain things that were kind of cheesy, but it wasn't bad acting or bad production. They did a great job with the overall show. So I'm happy with
But
that.
we talked about it before, and let me find his name here real quick. Cromartie,
Yeah.
and the actor that plays Cromartie, Garrett Dillahunt. When he is playing, when he starts really acting, his whole character. I can't say when he shows up as Laszlo, right? And he starts. I mean, dude, just the acting that it takes to just take everything that you've learned as an actor and just throw it out the window and just act terribly.
Without emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, on purpose and without it's fantastic acting. Like,
I don't want to give anything away, but obviously he's in season 2. I think you probably figured that out.
uh,
But he's so good in season 2. You're gonna even get a better like Dillahunt is gonna like blow you away with some of his acting. It's awesome stuff. So you'll like that. So David, I'm gonna put you on the spot first.
okay.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot first. What? Actually, maybe I should go first, just because I feel like I don't know. You choose. Who do you want to give the grade first? Who do you want to go first?
Oh man. Let's let you go first. I'll put you on the spot.
Okay, I'm gonna go. See, most people are probably gonna. Oh, he's gonna go A. He loves the show. I'm gonna go B plus. I say B plus
Okay.
all day. I think that I think that I would maybe give it an A if it. Maybe this is unfair, but I feel like maybe if it lasted longer than 2 seasons, I feel like if I had more to work with. But I think season 1, just purely based off season 1, not the whole series, I'd say B plus for season 1.
Okay. I was thinking like on a numerical scale, I could go like 8.3, but
Mm-hmm.
I can go with a B. No, I can go with a B plus.
Okay.
I can call it a B plus.
Yeah.
A lot better, so much better than I originally thought it would be. So much better. Very impressed with it
Good.
so far.
I'm
A
glad.
lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I'm glad, man. Again, I'm telling you, season 2 is going to be a lot of fun to go through that as well. A lot more episodes to go through. So we're going to have a lot of episodes for RGC as well. But I'm telling you, man, like I'm happy to hear you say that because, I don't want to like, I didn't want to happen. Like, wow, Eric thinks this is great. This show freaking sucks. Like,
I didn't want it to happen either.
I know, right? Like, I like this guy. I don't want to like, what a moron. But no, man, this has been great, and we are getting some great feedback. We appreciate all the subscribers, all the folks that take time to comment, like give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate everything. David and I respond to every single comment that we can whenever we get one, and we do appreciate it. But we're having a lot of fun with this, and we're not sure on a timeline yet. We might take like a week break in between season 1 and season 2 of this show. So we should be back with you guys pretty shortly. But anything else, Dave, you want to add before we close this one out?
It's been a lot of fun and a great finale. And I can't encourage everybody enough. If you're listening to this, if you're keeping up with us, please check out the show. Not even necessarily to watch along with us. That would be awesome. But just to watch the show because it's really a great show. And from what you've told me and what some other people have told me with no spoilers, we didn't get enough of it.
Yeah, season 2 is going to be like a lot better for you, I think, as far as like that all goes, getting more of the show. But if you are a Terminator fan, if you've not seen the series, you're doing yourself a disservice. You got to check it out. It's worth the watch. You can get them on Amazon. You can buy the DVDs, the Blu-rays, whatever. They're pretty cheap. So take a look at it. It's awesome.
Yeah, there is some solid, like I almost feel like the Sarah Connor Chronicles are what the Batman animated series was to the Batman universe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like legitimately great television, good cartoons,
Right.
and some of the best Batman. Period.
Yep.
Close to the comic books or whatever. But the Sarah Connor Chronicles is that damn good.
Mm-hmm. No, it's basically like picking up with James Cameron's ideas and running with them and adding more to it. So I feel like if you're a fan, check it out. Just like the Terminator Resistance game on PS4 that you told me about, I love it. It's great, and I wouldn't have known about it. So it's things like that. It's like word of mouth, and we know we have a lot of folks that we work with in the retro gaming community that are big into Terminator as well. And there's some great. It's like some of your friends, they have like the mug, and they have the different, like you have that little the skull of the T888. So some really cool things out there that we can check out. So
Well, the Terminator IP, the property is one that often kind of gets crapped on a little bit,
mm-hmm.
and everybody compares everything obviously to T1 and T2. Everybody says, "Oh, they should have stopped after T2." No, like they shouldn't have. Like I enjoy this. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you feel that way. I enjoy this idea and this universe.
Yeah, like Genesis wasn't amazing, Dark Fate wasn't amazing, but it's just like it's still part of like it's something that we like. So why would I want to hate something that I like?
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Genesis is garbage, but yeah, I can still
It's
watch it.
still right. We still watched it. We still checked it out. And it's one of those things where, yeah, it was garbage, but it's good garbage. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good point.
And to go back to what you said about the game, if you haven't played Terminator Resistance for the PS4 or the 5, you are doing yourself a disjustice. It's the best Terminator game we have.
You said December 10th is the release, right, for the new PS5 version of the game?
For the new DLC, yes.
Okay, that's cool. I'll check that out.
Yeah, that's only on the PS5. That DLC is only on the PS5.
Got it.
Which I'm bummed out about. I don't have a 5 yet.
We're gonna get you one, David. It's a matter of time. You're gonna get one. But awesome stuff, David. Thanks so much for doing this with me. We're super excited to have you on the channel. So yeah, this has been episode number 6 of the Retro Gamer Chronicles. This is Eric for Game Mode Retro.
And this is David, the lame dad.
We'll catch you guys next time.
Be good.